A beautiful day here at the newspaper stand where we give you a new headline about the things that are going on in the country, giving you some of the window and the major headlines that we have in some of the papers. Let's start with Daily Sun this morning. If you look here at the major headline, it's in Buhari aid reveals fuel subsidy secret, says ex-president delayed his removal to help APC win presidential election. Cause that Buhari did not tow towards the lane of fuel subsidy removal because he was deliberate about wanting the government to win the election, of course, and that is what Garba Shehu is saying in there. Then at the window here is saying NIA SDG fights back open kind of worms, of course. He said down here he said federal government warns security agency against use of torture, cruel treatment of detainees. If you've had maybe a chance of visiting one of the police stations, you will know that it's not a walk in the park. The cruel torture, and that was what resulted to the NSAT protest that happened in 2020, where some Nigerians came up to say stop wrong profiling, stop the torture, because if these guys get at you, it used to be a very tough one. So federal government here is saying verify the issues, don't get tough on people. The life of individuals matters actually. Then here, both mishap, bodies of 3 missing medical students are recovered. Anti-weapons proliferation agency raises the alarm over false outfit in North-East. Down here, Tinubu will secure every inch of Nigeria. That is what Ribadu is saying, the current NSA leader, national security advisor to the nation on security matters, saying that Tinubu is going to secure every inch of Nigeria. So it does seem like a hope for us here. Let's hope that we can walk even down to Sambisa Forest without having any security threat, and that is on that. Then down here is saying reps speaker advocates salary review for workers. You can find that on page 26 of the paper. Eid el-Kabir passengers pay over 150,000 for economy seat. Salah is taking place tomorrow, and it is tough already for passengers here. For economy seat, you're paying 150,000 naira. That could be as a result of the fuel subsidy removal, but the government said with time everything is going to normalize. But it's a tough one here. How much more those who will go on the business class and all of that? It's going to be something else. Let's look at the Punch. Okay, the Punch here is saying, let's start with the window topics here. Buhari hands over 974 billion uncompleted road project. You can find that on page 9 of the Punch paper. This caused backtrack on tariff hike, await NEC NERC approval. Then World Bank, okay, fresh 500 million loan for federal government. Wow. Okay, down on the topmost headline here is saying Senate Minority Leader PDP Atiku set to clash with G5 over Tamboa. You can find that on page 2 of the paper. Atiku, a party man with back PDP choice, says aid as minority leader emerges on July 4th. Then G5 backing Jaride Otom's aid insists lawmaker wants PDP on Sokoto as governor. If you look here, you can see this is Shetima, the vice president, decorating the DG of NAGDA Custom CG Controller General, I beg your pardon, decorated promises technology-driven operation. That's the new Custom Controller General saying that there's going to be a technology-driven operation within that sector. Then Salah FG declares holidays or soon cancels free train ride. Then Abuja FBI imposed defraud Spaniard of 5.7 million fraud. Wow. Page 5 of the paper, the Punch paper. Tinubu returns today, present ministerial list after Salah. Well, that is another good news. While some applaud the president for the quick appointment that he's making, we're also looking forward to have him give us his ministerial appointment. And the Punch is telling us that once he might return back today, and when he comes back, he's going to give us, present the ministerial list after the Salah break of celebration. All right, so let's come to this day. This morning is saying at the topmost here, it's in Buhari delayed fuel subsidy removal. Of course, we saw that in the paper by Garba Shehu that the delay of fuel subsidy was because the president wanted to of course, ensure that the APC wins at the presidential election. So after aborted rebellion in Russia concerned mounts over Wagner in Africa. All right, you can find that on the Punch paper this morning. It's saying FG renames airport after political leaders, other prominent Nigerians. Ribadu, it's time Nigeria enjoy peace, takes over as NSA chairman. You saw that Tinubu is going to secure every nook and cranny of the country, and also now he's saying it is time for Nigeria to start enjoying peace. That is what Ribadu is saying out there, that it's time for Nigeria to enjoy peace. Okay, let's quickly go. You can find a lot of other interesting things on this day paper, but let's look at the Nation's paper this morning. It's saying this could await NERC nods to increase electricity tariff. Okay, that is on the National Electrical Commission, something of that nature. Okay, then 7 pilgrims died of psychological challenges, says Nakon. All right, then S8 why buried. Okay, we saw that on the paper. Okay, then Kano citizens protest government demolition. You know that the incumbent president recently have been demolishing some buildings. I don't know why he does that, but he has given some of the reasons why he's doing that. But there seems to be a protest in Kano State over all of that because it is people that have been affected out there. Then look at here, Ribadu, CDS, IG will secure Nigeria. Okay, that's what the security personnel are telling us. All right, so let's quickly come to Vanguard. And the topmost headline here is a forest challenge driving petrol price towards 581 naira per liter. Wow, already Nigerians are complaining of the hike that we are seeing, but the forest challenge, dollar challenge, is saying it might drive it up, a bit of hike to 581 per liter. It said forest delivery of 11 PLC. Okay, this is not important. It's important, but we don't want to look at that this morning. I delayed petrol subsidy removal to allow Tinubu and APC wins the election. That's what Buhari is coming out to say this morning. Down here at the window page, is saying NSA Ribadu vows to subdue insecurity and stabilizes Nigeria. It said we are coming after you. NSCDC reads a riot act to oil thieves. Okay, we're coming after you. I don't know whom they're going to be chasing out there, but I don't know. Then FG renames airport after Buhari, Usman, Danfodio, Awolowo, and others. Then Tinubu wants a stigma on drug use removed. That is on that. Okay, you can get the Vanguard and go through them to read all of those other stories that we have out there. I'm just going to take just the major headline here. I delay fuel subsidy removal to allow you APC win the election. Don't stigmatize drug victims. That's what Tinubu wants. Don't stigmatize drug victims. You saw that earlier in the paper where you said the torture that police do give to some of these detainees is very hard, so they should try to pacify all of that. Look at this Nigeria, flood of tears. Abuja residents sacked by flood, recount ordeal. Over 100 buildings are submerged. We saw that Trademore estate in Lugbe where I think somebody lost his life and a lot of properties were being destroyed. I think it's time for the government to think about a proper drainage and canal system to ensure that we don't have all of those negative impacts on the economy. Then politics now, 1 month after impact as Tinubu's presidency takes shape, radical economic reforms, president security team give hope. We saw that in the papers. Let's look at the point is saying that what Ribadu must do to succeed, this could be expert giving advice, retired generals, police chief, tackle insecurity, not opponent, Nigerian tell NSA. You know there's this custom in Nigeria where a government is coming in or somebody is taking over an office and the first thing he does is to start attacking his opponent or those that they might not have had a very good relationship. But now he's saying don't do that, rather face the challenge that we have in the country. All right, let's look at Daily Trust this morning. It says unease in FG agencies as management fears sack. There is a fear of sacking, maybe merging of agency and a lot of sack, because the government needs to garner enough money to do what they ought to do. So fear in some of these agencies as management fear a lot of sack. Some chief executive relocate to Abuja to lobby. Emphasis should be on competence. That should be the reason. The electricity tariff hike will worsen plight of Nigerians. That is what a group is advising. You know that there is this talk about the electricity, adding about 40% to the electricity tariff. But group is warning here that if this happens, already Nigerians are facing the fuel subsidy removal, which is not actually easy for Nigerians. We saw in one of the papers where economic flight is 150,000 for a seat. So if you now add this, it's going to be a whole lot of stress for Nigerians. Okay, I think we're going to wrap it up here, and that's all we can take today. But there are other papers, you can get them and go through them to know what is happening in the country. Austin Beatrice Sinam, this is 7 TV.